Hello, and welcome to the 196th edition of Beer Issues. My name is Matt Bruckert, and I'm coming to you live here from Casa de Bruckert, where we're going to be having another world-class beer. We're going to be having a beer from Toppling Goliath Brewing Company, which is one of the top-rated breweries in the world. Actually, I think it has in the top 10, according to Beer Advocate, 3, maybe even 4 of the top 10 beers. Now, they're all stouts, so they're very hard to get, so we don't get those beers. But we're having one of their world-class IPAs. Today, we're going to be having from Toppling Goliath Brewing, the Zeelander Indian Pale Ale. Which is a New England style, I believe. It doesn't say New England style on the front, but I believe that I read it said New England style. So we'll see it as we pour it, and we'll talk about it. Now, the funny thing about this beer, it's a single hop beer. So they didn't blend, 25 different hops to try and get 25 different flavors and confuse your palate to beyond belief. They did it all with the Nelson Sauvin from New Zealand. So the hops from New Zealand, and it's the Nelson Sauvin hop, and you can see you get that cloudy appearance of the New England style. Now you're also, and I kind of read about this, I don't usually see this in too many of the IPAs, but you're also getting some sediment in there from the yeast that they put in the beer. Now I don't usually think of getting a lot of yeast dumped into a IPA, so that's kind of an interesting tidbit and should make for an interesting flavor profile. But there definitely is some sediment, and they even, I talked about it when I was reading up on it, is the fact that at the bottom or your last pour on there that you would probably get some sediment from the yeast that they put in there. Now you see it's got a nice strong head. It is dissipating, but it's got some nice big bubbles, nice cloudy. The beer rates 96 out of 100, world class, like we said. Clocks in at 6.2%, which is pretty solid for just a regular, what they call IPA. So let's go ahead and smell it. Oh, it's also 80 IBUs, okay? So it's going to be a hopster. Oh, now when I smell this, it smells like you're smelling like, when you take a grapefruit and you just cut into that grapefruit and you're getting, maybe, I like to sprinkle a little sugar on my grapefruit, but that smell of that fresh grapefruit, maybe with the sugar on it, who knows, but it smells like I just cut open just a beautiful grapefruit. Oh. See, that's why these beers are clocking in at coming in at 96 ratings, and I think we did one the other day that was 100 rating from this same brewery. I mean, the hops that they're using are just, Now, for those of you who know a little bit about wine, Sauvignon, the Marlborough region of New Zealand does produce great Sauvignon Blancs, and they are a grapefruity type wine. So I don't know how it all correlates, but something about the taste of grapefruit from New Zealand is amazing. So it comes through in the hops, and then with the wine, they also do it. I don't know what the correlation is, but the hops are from New Zealand, and they smell just like a fresh grapefruit. Maybe a little scent of orange in there also, but definitely predominantly grapefruit. Okay, well, let's waste no time. Let's go ahead and dig into this bad boy. Now that is very tasty. Let me try that again here. I need to get another sip of that here. So the taste follows the scent. So you're getting a grapefruit, hop. I do get a little orange in there. I can taste the yeast, that they put in there. The carbonation just keeps coming off of this beer. It's kind of a beautiful thing. Like the carbonation is going down and up, or maybe that's some of the yeast going down. I can't. Looks like the carbonation is like coming off the top. That's weird. But anyway, delicious beer. The last one we did from Toppling Goliath was the King Sue, which I think that one was rated 100 out of 100. But I would say that this beer is, I mean, every bit as good, I believe, as the King Sue. Quite tasty. It gets a 96. The King Sue got 100. King Sue was a little bit more of a West Coast, as to where this is more the New England style, even though they're using the single hop. They do an outstanding job with this one hop of creating a complex flavor, because obviously there's no grapefruit in this beer, but when you smell it, it smells just like, and it's from those hops. It's from those Nelson Sauvin hops that you get out of New Zealand. They create a great. Sometimes you'll even get a taste out of there of like a mango, and there could be a slight taste of mango in there. I'm not really 100% sure. If it is, it's very light. It blends well with the orange, but a really nice flavor that they derive from doing this single hop process. And the hops also give it a somewhat, I don't know how to explain it, but like an earthy flavor. Because the hops, not only are you getting the fruit flavor that's derived out of the hops, but it also gives a hop like earthy taste to it. So you're getting the taste of not only like the grapefruit, strong grapefruit presence, but you get like an earthy, herby type present, flavor in there. Overall, I would give it an excellent rating. I mean, I'd have to agree with the rating. They give it a 96 out of 100. I definitely think for a single hop beer, I don't think I've ever had a better just single hop beer than the way they created this one. I've had other beers that they advertise where they do the single hop, and they do it, and it just, for some reason, it doesn't come out as nice as this one does. Now, keep in mind, when I say it's every bit as good as the King Sue, that's personal taste, okay? This is a more of a New England style, which is more what I prefer in a beer, versus the King Sue is a little bit more of a West Coast type IPA. So for the people who like the West Coast, they might say, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's crazy. Well, it may be I'm not as fond of the West Coast type IPAs as more the New England style with the grapefruit and the tropical flavors that you get from them. It's just what I prefer. So if you're a West Coast fan, you're probably going to think that King Sue is probably the way to go. And I loved it. I still like West Coast IPAs, but not as much as I love the tropical flavors of a nice, strong IPA. So really, if I can get an Imperial New England, or an Imperial, double IPA, a double New England IPA, those are going to be my preference when it comes to IPAs. I've never really been a fan of really the lower octane IPAs. I think IPA needs to be a certain alcohol by volume to really get the flavors right. That's just my opinion. So anyway, check it out. Toppling Goliath out of Iowa, one of the top breweries in the entire world. Like I said, at least 3 of the top 10 beers in the world are from Toppling Goliath out of Iowa. So make sure you check it out. And if you want any cool Beer Issues gear, like Beer Issues hats, phone cases, t-shirts, make sure you go to shop.beerissues.com. And as my wife likes to say, I have beer issues.